Look, this is Brexit gone global. It's quite a bit of a shock, continues to be a wake-up call, and yet we've seen this coming. We've seen the roiling votes, frankly, all across Europe. If you've watched elections in Central Europe, have you seen the elections in Spain, the difficulty of forming a government, and clearly Brexit itself, we're seeing the results of some type of backlash, some type of popular backlash to the powers of globalization. We've been feeling it. We watched it play out in the Republican primary, and Donald Trump has ridden that to the victory in the presidential election. And I think we have to expect more to come. We're headed towards fairly significant elections, first in Austria, then the Netherlands, France, Germany. In each of these elections, the same type of issues are at stake, and a new crop of leaders is challenging the establishment and has the chance to seize power. So look, this is Brexit gone global. I think President-elect Trump, even before he becomes president, has an opportunity, a role to help stabilize the world, to help send the right signals to the world of the United States' consistent engagement and presence. Things will change, no doubt. This president will have policies, and frankly, it'll take a while to figure out what they are. But I think the role the United States plays is so catalytic, is so significant. It has a reverberating effect on almost every country in the world in terms of what we do. So I think there's an opportunity for the president-elect to try to calm expectations, calm the waters, and send a sense of stability, at least in terms of America's commitment to be a reliable international partner, although recognizing there are big changes to come. The challenges are how to actually turn some simplistic campaign themes into actual initiatives and presidential policies. I think that's both a challenge and an opportunity. This is a president-elect who questioned the nature of America's role in the world, so I think there's a real opportunity to help articulate and define that so that both our allies and our adversaries have a sense of expectations of first principles, if you will, in terms of how a Trump administration will lead the United States globally. I think the signature themes of skepticism about international trade, that there's a real challenge and an opportunity to take the campaign sloganeering on trade and to figure out what does it really mean to have a better trade deal, and how do we not just erect walls and close our borders and potentially create fuel a recessionary reaction, but get to work on something that could be considered a better trade deal. The same with our alliances. There was some inflammatory rhetoric that called into question America's commitment to our alliances. Fundamentally, our alliance structure, NATO in particular, is an incredible force multiplier for American interest. So how does he translate the campaign themes of putting pressure on our allies to step up to the plate into a constructive strategy to make our alliance more effective and to stand by it, not to abandon it? I think there's going to be a need to reach out and make direct connections with leaders in Europe who are going to be concerned about who their partner is. This is a candidate who on the campaign trail directly attacked the Chancellor of Germany, the country that will be his most important partner in Europe in getting things done. And I think there's an effort that needs to be done to build a sense of an outreached hand and to build those alliances and that sense of cooperation that's going to be required. Second, I think it's going to be important to have that contact, to build relationships face-to-face. Early outreach and early visits to Europe, an upcoming NATO summit, an upcoming G7 summit in Italy, and then a G20 summit in Germany, an invitation to attend the 3Cs summit among Central European leaders in Poland. I think there needs to be a calculated effort to use the arc of this engagement, not to fan our adversaries to think that all of a sudden America's closest allies are running away from us, but to begin to map out a path forward and working with our allies on challenges that are not going to go away. So I think Russia is the wild card. I think this is potentially a trap. This is a candidate who seemed to be tempted by the prospect of the deal making. And while I think we would welcome seeing deals that are made that advance American interests, that advance American values, that they also be deals that not sacrifice our friends, our allies, our partners in the process. This is where Vladimir Putin is looking for a deal. He's looking for the old school of being able to sit down, carve up the world into spheres of influence. He gets Ukraine, he gets Georgia, Moldova, and perhaps he even has some say over some of the former Warsaw Pact countries that are now our NATO allies. That's a kind of deal that we can't be comfortable with. And so most American presidents think that they've got an ability to reach out and work with the Russian leader at the beginning of their term. I think this is a real wild card where the president-elect needs to be careful. Until Mr. Putin sees things a bit differently, the terms of the deal that he's interested in, I fear would put at risk some fundamental values, interests, and friends of ours.